gym because I basically work from home 3 days a week, and I don't like going to the gym after all the time. So I'm gonna go to the gym on the days when I work in the office after, because then it's only 2 days. Or I could do like one room workout. Yesterday morning I woke up and did like a 40-minute full body workout in my room, and I was like, love this for me. Oh. I didn't know whether to have like coffee before I went to the gym, but now I feel like it's too late because I actually have a lot of work to do at 9. So I'm like, okay, I just really need to go. I'm so tired. But I'm really sticking at this gym thing. I'm really proud of myself. My hair is so greasy, but because I've been using the Batiste thing, it like looks fine. Actually, so, right.
Hey guys. See, I'm still getting into the hang of things. This is the thing of where it's like, even if you feel like you're not good, like just start. I do that with my podcast all the time. I'm literally like, I have no idea how to do the video episode and then add the sound in because it's on my iPad, and then don't know how to do it in the video that's recording on my phone. So yeah, like I feel like just do the things anyway, and then you'll learn them along the way. Like I had such a fear of starting things because I was like, well, I don't know how to do it. And it's like, well, there are YouTube. Is this on? Yeah. Okay, so today I thought I would actually talk about like starting off in January and intentional solitude and like prioritizing my health, which is honestly so against what I've kind of been saying. So I've been like, don't set any goals, but I naturally like I spoke about this in my previous vlog. I was like saying about how I was working on my fitness and stuff like that, and I actually started to do the 75 medium before the new year. So I haven't really started it as like a new year goal, but I have actually like really committed. Right, like just stay on, please. It's really annoying because my ring light with the holder is there, but then my desk and like I literally, my room is so inconvenient for like content. It's so annoying. But I'm grateful nonetheless. It's so fine. But yeah, so I actually started it before the new year, so I'm not really contradicting like the whole like I don't really think you need to set goals, because I'm a very big firm believer of like you shouldn't really set goals in the new year, and you should do it in spring equinox, because now is the time that the universe is resting, and it just makes more sense then. Like this is a time for rest and recuperation. You can look at nature all around you, like it's all resting as well. So I'm still very heavy on that, but I have actually incorporated the 75 medium, and I'm really enjoying it. Like I've actually been really committed. I don't think I've been this committed to something in so long, like genuinely for so long. And it's actually really nice. I'm actually of course exhausted. Like I think doing a workout every day, have one day where I don't do a workout, but doing a workout every day and working and maintaining like life is actually very draining and very tiresome. Like even like cooking food for myself, I'm really not a person that like makes myself like I don't think I've had a very healthy kind of relationship with food, and I definitely haven't prioritized like what I eat or anything like that. So yeah, it's been nice to do that, but it's also really tiring, and it's like contains a lot of effort. Also, guys, are we feeling my layers? Like, sorry, it looked a lot bouncier earlier. I don't get it. I feel like they don't really say like bouncy, but it's fine. It's all good. um, but yeah, so I've been actually eating like breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, which is actually such a big thing for me. Like, genuinely, there was a time literally in October I went through like such a hard time. And whenever I go through a hard time, the first thing I think of is like neglecting my body or like treating that like awfully, because I'm like, well, I don't care about this and I can have control over it now, which is a really unhealthy thought pattern. But I feel like if you've struggled with like eating disorders and stuff in the past, and it naturally just flows back into your life, no matter how stable you are. It's like you can be so stable, but something can happen, and it doesn't mean that you've gone backwards. It just means that you're learning how to deal with it moving forward. So I give myself compassion in that element. But yeah, it was a lot. Like I remember like something happened and I genuinely ate like half a like the little soup cartons. I ate half of one of them every day, and like 3 mushrooms and like 4 cucumbers. It was like so niche. I didn't have anything more for like 3 weeks, and it was just really bad because I started a new job and I was just like lacking energy, because obviously food like is what fuels you, and I've never really seen it like that before. So yeah, that was like a big thing, and it's so nice and such a testament to how I've grown in my own mindset, because the other day I was going to make dinner and I wanted to have soup for dinner, and I was like, is this going to be enough for me? I was like, I'm so proud of myself. You know, when you're literally like, oh my God, like I'm actually so proud of like how my mindset is now like adjusting to like caring about myself, because it's a really pivotal and like important moment. And it was really nice. Like even earlier, so I'm doing like room workouts a lot more, just because I don't have the energy to go to the gym all the time, and I do get a bit bored. So I found like these full body workouts, and I do like a Pilates workout at the end. So I do like a half an hour full body workout and then a 10-minute Pilates workout like 2 times a week, which is really nice. But obviously, so I did it this morning and it was good vibes. But then I was like, oh, I'm really hungry. And I then made like granola and a yogurt. And then I would like had 2 slices of like fruit toast. And it was just really nice to be, because normally I'm like, no, that's way too much. Like, and then I'm like, no, my body needs this for fuel. So I'm really enjoying this process. It's really nice. And I feel like it's something that I'm going to stick at, which is really nice. Like I know I was saying how I just wanted to trial it to see if I could stay committed to something, but I am really enjoying it. Obviously I am really tired, but I feel like it's a healthy tired. Like it's a healthy tired because I'm looking after myself and treating myself in the best way, which is obviously a big difference if you haven't really taken care or looked after yourself from before. So I'm being really compassionate with that, which is so lovely, and I'm genuinely having such a nice time. I also went back to the office this week, which was honestly stunning vibes. Like I feel so grateful to have such a team of like powerful, beautiful women like surrounded by them, and it just makes me really happy. Like I sometimes forget how like this is everything I've ever wanted, and I really didn't see a career as like something that I ever really cared about before, because I never really had any inspiration in those areas. Like my mum's an addict, my dad was really ill, so it's like I never really like had someone pushing me or guiding me along the way of like career. And it's really nice because I do feel like I got there myself, and I had a long journey to get there. Like it felt really frustrating at times, and I really wanted to give up, and I was like, this just isn't a lifestyle for me. Like this just isn't deserving from someone of my background. That could not be further away from the truth. Like I have seen that with the women I work with. Like they generally lift me up and empower me, and generally like I just feel really appreciated and really seen. And it was so nice to be able to be like, I am so excited to go back into the office. Like I'm so excited to go back to work. And I'm also now on YSL, which is really cute, because I actually did I was on a makeup counter there when I was like 18, so it feels really full circle. I'm like, okay, look at me go. And I'm just working with really good brands, and I'm just really excited to see my growth and like excel, and I'm very supported, and like I just couldn't be happier. So that's been really nice. And guys, I also got a message from Motel Rocks. Sorry, it's so exciting, like asking to give me clothes, which was so exciting. I've only ever received PR once, and that was on my old Instagram, and they were like, it was more of like a small brand. It was very fun. I loved it. Like I love clothes so much, so that was really nice. But I then deleted that Instagram account because it didn't align with me. Like I felt like I was like shifting into like this Instagram girly that wasn't me. Like I literally had filler and like blonde hair extensions, and like I just looked so far from myself. It was kind of crazy. And like I give compassion to that version of me, because bless her, she's so cute, but like it also just wasn't me at all. So that Instagram really like I was more focused on like the numbers, and like just didn't really post authentically, because I was like so scared of being this. I wanted to be someone that people wanted, and it wasn't really who I actually was. So at the end of the day, I wasn't very happy. Yeah, so it feels really nice that I've created my own Instagram now and just do what flows for me. And like I just post whenever I feel good enough, and it feels really nice to have had them reach out. Like I was like, wait, like literally like 21-year-old me screaming. I've actually manifested working with Motel Rocks before, and this is when I say don't count things on timing. Like genuinely, it can come at any point at any time. I think when we think of like asking for things, asking the universe for what we want, we're like, it should turn up in like the next week, because I think we're so kind of used to, I don't know, you have Amazon, it can come next day. You can have like food apps and you can get it in the next hour, and we forget the blessing of time in the universe. And like, yeah, so that's really nice. Like something I've asked for maybe a long time ago is now resonating for me now, and it's maybe better for me at this time, because I'd be able to create the content that I want to create, which is really, really nice. And I'm actually like manifesting that I feel like I'll work with more brands this year, and I feel like it will be really fun, and I just get really excited to create content. Like I've had a lot more messages on my TikTok being like, can you help me style these, and can you help me do this? And I'm a fashion girly at heart. I don't like working in the fashion industry. I feel like it disaligns with my values. I think it's very cutthroat, and I don't think all the time it's something I like being in. I think it puts me down quite a lot, and sometimes I feel like my background just makes me feel like I can't relate to any of these people there. Like like from a very working class background, I think there's like 30% of people from working class background really work in like fashion. This is why I really resonate with like Tory Bricks and what she's done. And yeah, so she's a really great person actually to look at if you do want to go into fashion, because I would say definitely do it and try it, but it wasn't what aligned for me. And I love working in beauty, but being able to create fashion in my own way and like maybe inspiring and helping others, which is really nice, and that more aligns with my values. So it is really nice. I'm very excited for what's to come this year, and it feels nice because it was a great way to like start off the year of being like you're getting things you want, like that feels really nice. Like I'm not gonna lie, and I kind of feel bad because I'm like I'm actually going through a lot of really bad stuff right now, but I'm like I'm really grateful and content that these things are working out for me, and it just feels like a nice flow. On that note, so I'm so scared of Lidl. Like I actually have a fear of it, only because I had a really traumatic experience in there. There was like this guy and he wouldn't leave me alone. And I was like very like, I was just very off guard. Like I'd just come from the gym. I was very like anxious. I felt like big light stressed me out, and Lidl's got such big light. And I was like, and he like wouldn't leave me alone. And it was really uncomfortable because it was like 3 o'clock in the day. And I felt really awkward, and I'm a nice person, so I was like giving him compassion as well, but also kind of being like, no, I'm not interested. And he wouldn't get the idea that I didn't want to go for coffee with him. And I obviously I'm gay, but I had to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I've got a boyfriend, because I know that men like basically then back off. Like me saying no is not enough. But if you find out that someone who you don't even know, like in a male reference, is with me, then you suddenly back away. I find it really uncomfortable and I hate it, but it's always just a safer option for me than to be like, oh, I've got a girlfriend, just because some guys still don't get it and they're just like, yeah, whatever, like it's a joke. Like I'm like, no. But like, yeah, so that was really uncomfortable. And then I actually was really annoyed because there were like 2 men around me, and they came up to me after the situation, even though they were standing there the whole time, and they were like, oh, are you okay? Like that was really uncomfortable. You could have said something when we were in it, but now you're taking time to talk to me afterwards. I don't really want to talk to you, so I found it really uncomfortable. And then I was actually outside Lidl, and the guy that had left was walking up and down the road, and I was really scared to walk home because it was one straight road, and I was like, I don't want this guy to follow me, so I had to hide behind a car in Lidl car park just because I was worried. Being a woman. But yeah, so I've been scared of Lidl ever since. But then me and James had dinner the other night, and it was really nice. And we went to Lidl because I couldn't bother to go to Sainsbury's, because I'd literally just been around that area, and I was like, I can't bother to go back straight away. You know when you've just been there and you're like, I don't want to walk there. And I actually was so excited. So this smells so divine. I'm literally like, this is the best thing ever. And it's called Honey I'm Home, and I feel like it's a dupe of like Lush, which is really nice. It smells so good. It was like $2.99. I'm such a fan of like Lush stuff, but like I don't really go in there a lot. It's not near me, and I don't like that. I know it's their job as customer service because I've also worked in retail, but I don't like the pressure and the hounding of like, can I help you, can I do this? I get really nervous, and I'm like, I'm fine obviously the first time, but then when it like happens multiple times, it just makes me feel a bit uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't really know what to say. And like, yeah, so but I love Lush. It's a very nice space, and I love that. But that was really good for like a dupe, like $2.99. I really recommend. And then we have our trusted Sol de Janeiro. So I used the blue one, and James, my housemate, he was like, oh, this will take you like 2 months to get through. I was like, no, it absolutely will not. So I had this blue one. Wait, let me show you. It's literally stunning. Like it's so good and it's so nice, but it's so expensive and it's so small. And I just use sprays like no tomorrow. Like I have this really bad thing of basically buying like expensive perfume or liking expensive perfume and having it, and then kind of spraying it all the time every single day, and then it kind of stresses me out because although I really like smelling nice, I do not have the funds to keep on buying that perfume. So I'm like, I need to find like cheaper alternatives that I can use every day on the day to day, and then and then use the ones that I like when I go to, like this I literally used in like a week and a half. It's so good. It's number 76 and it's the blue one, so I really recommend getting this because it's a bit different. But I am such a salted caramel girly, and I love the smell of it so much. Like I want salted caramel everything. I don't find it too sweet. I literally love it. And this was $3.99 in Lidl. And yes, granted, it doesn't smell exactly the same, but I think it's a nice one to wear every single day just without the pressure of like having an expensive kind of spray on. So I really enjoyed getting this. This was really fun. So my Lidl trip was good. And this is pistachio and salted caramel. So I really recommend if you have a Lidl near you and you want something like every day, this is really good. I wish I could spray it and you could smell it, but like I can't. And I also just got a Vinted parcel. Sorry, I'm just gonna like do everything right now. Also got a Vinted parcel. I really haven't been buying things recently, so I'm like, I saw this and it was £2, and I'm in my waistcoat era. Like I genuinely think that with clothing, like you should find like, I don't know, like your capsule wardrobe that like you love, or like an item that you love. So when I don't know what to wear, I always have like these low-waisted trousers. They were literally from a charity shop. They fit me so well. And they were literally like £4. And I know that if I don't know what I'm going to wear, then I can chuck these on and some loafers and a waistcoat. So this is really nice. I do have another waistcoat that I literally love, and then I have another one that I really love, but it doesn't fit me quite as well. Like it's just a bit too big around the shoulders. And I thought for £2 this is nice, and it's got like the little collar kind of bit, and it's a bit more lower. Like I've also got a waistcoat that I wear, but it's quite high up, which I love, but like I quite also like having my chest out sometimes. I'm like but yeah, so I like that will be like my capsule that I can just basically go to whenever I don't really know what to wear and I'm like leaving in a rush. And also, guys, I actually cannot, so I'm a loafer girly. I have at least like 13-14 pairs of loafers. I can't help it. I've probably got more. Like I just love them so much. They've always been like my go-to shoe. I just love them. I always have. I think it's because I used to travel and tourism in college, so I always used to have to wear heels to college every day for 3 years. And I obviously walked to the station and back every single day. So I would actually get loafers in my bag and then change into them while I went and walked home. I've wanted a pair of brown square-toed loafers, like that are heeled, like a little bit heeled, not too much, but like just a little bit heeled. And I got some the other day in Zara, but before I got them, because I obviously didn't know I was going to get them, I actually saw these in Primark. They weren't the perfect ones, but they were £13. So I was like, well, I'm going to get them just in case. This was before I found my like dream pair. And these were £13 in Primark. I think they're so lovely that they're more flat, which is really nice. You can just wear it on a day to day. I don't normally buy shoes from Primark, but I was like, oh, I really wanted a brown pair. And when they were £13, I just couldn't say no. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm a size 7. Can you imagine, guys? I know you may be thinking I look like a 5 because everyone tells me that, but I'm actually 7. I've got my mum's feet. Look at these. I got these in the Zara sale. I went in with my friend Jasmine last week. They were literally from £70 to £30. And I was like questioning whether I should get them or not, because I was like really sensible. And I was like, oh, but I just bought a pair. And I'm so glad I got them. It's so weird because like Zara loafers rip the hell out of my feet. Like genuinely, they hurt me so much. Like I just don't bother getting them from like Zara or H&M and stuff like that anymore. I'd rather spend more money and then break them ones in than like get the cheap alternative. These, I can't describe it. They're not like a hard leather like at the back, so they're really nice to wear and they just slip on my feet so easily. And the first day I wore them, it didn't hurt. I was like, the loafer got it on my side. Like I was so happy. So the Zara sale is actually really good. I also got some really nice leopard print jeans, which I've been wearing quite a lot actually. They're very high-waisted, which very isn't me, but I'm thinking with like an oversized jumper, it's really nice. And I really enjoy them. So that's kind of what I got up to this week. So next, I wanted to talk about how I think January is the most perfect time for intentional solitude. I've been single for about 5 years now. I was in like maybe a situationship for like a year, maybe at the beginning when I was single, when I was like 21. And then I was in a situationship maybe last year for about like 6 months, but we were like still communicating after that. And yeah, while they're very nice and I learn a lot of like experiences from them, I think if you're single, it's really nice to take some time for intentional solitude. Like I really, really recommend it. There were some things in the last situation that I was in that kind of made me feel like I wasn't really as sure as myself as I thought I was, which is really nice because then I can learn that and take away things. And then I also dated a girl afterwards for like 2 months at the end of the year. And then we ended things just like around like the New Year time, just because it just wasn't aligning, and like I felt like I really needed to like not date anyone and have intentional solitude. Like I just think at the beginning of the year is a really good time to have it, because it is that time where you're nesting and like you're recuperating and you're reflecting, and it's a really nice time to really like own in on yourself. And I think you have more time to reflect on what you want and what you don't want and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And I've really been thinking, is this slanting? I think so. Yeah, I think it's a really nice time to kind of actually get deep with yourself. And it's like, I really love, like I'm such a 10 p.m. bedtime girly. So summer, I love it. I love her. She's great. But I really feel like winter is a very nice time to like sit there, light my candles, like journal, like kind of light my incense and really get into the flow of how I'm truly feeling as a person. And with having these experiences, it means that I can then reflect on that and see what works for me and what doesn't. I've definitely found that like I realized that I want to nurture other people. Like, I think because I've been alone for so long and I don't really have like nurturing aspects in my life with like family or anything like that. So I think I naturally have this thing where I want to nurture people because I haven't been nurtured myself and I've done it all by myself. Like, I'm a very independent person. I back myself on, I do not ever need anyone. Like, I could be perfectly fine living my whole life by myself, and I know that I would be good because one, I get everything I want eventually, and I know that I'm basically, I don't need to settle for anyone. I haven't settled for many reasons because I know what I'm worth, and I know that I fill my own cup so much. Like, genuinely, I think with someone who I'm dating, they don't ever need to fill my cup, and they just basically need to like be adding into my life and overflowing my cup that I've already filled. And I think that's like, that makes it more restrictive for me when I'm dating, because I know exactly what I want. I maybe don't know what I want actually. Like, that when I started dating someone in the beginning of last year, I was so excited to be dating someone because I hadn't really been serious about anyone in a long time, that I kind of let that override how I actually felt in a lot of situations and feelings. But I saw myself in that situation kind of like wanting to heal them and wanting to fix them and wanting to be like their safe space, which is great and it's really good, and I think that is very nice. But sometimes if a person also doesn't want to do the work, then you're wasting your whole entire energy and you're actually bringing yourself down, because putting in energy into another person isn't that isn't receptive of that energy and doesn't want to do the work themselves isn't actually going to get you anywhere apart from drained and burnt out and emotional and upset. And then I think you form these attachments because you're like, you really want to help them in some sort of way, but sometimes it's just not necessary. And I've really learned that this year. Like, I think when I go into dating again, I like to have intentional solitude for 2 or 3 months. I think that's a really nice time, and I think it's a nice time to like date yourself, get to know yourself. It's like it's not like a week or two. I think obviously that's great if that's all you can manage and that's all you can do. But yeah, I think what was I saying? I had a really good thought and now it's just gone. Should I do this on my thumbnail? Yeah, I think with like dating people, I've literally completely lost my whole trail of thought. I literally had no idea what I was saying. This is like the worst thing, because like I feel like my brain then doesn't have anything in it to get it back. It's like when, you know, like when you're playing like truth or dare with your friends, I have nothing to think of as the truth and I have nothing to think of as the dare. Or like if people like it scares me, like nothing comes out of my brain. I'm like, it's like I have no thoughts. I'm literally like, oh, like I had to introduce myself the other day and I was like, and I literally yap everywhere. Like I yap everywhere I go, and then someone asks me a question, I'm like, crickets. Maybe I could do an animation and like crickets come out. I don't know. I say this all the time in these things. I literally don't know how to do that. Yeah. Oh, so basically with dating, like I think I basically like try and nurture people, which is obviously really nice. But I actually went to a book swap maybe like 6 months ago, and we were talking about this, and it was like I was discussing the situation that I was in, like dating this girl. She was quite avoidant, like love that for her. I mean, I get it now because I feel like I've also become a bit avoidant, which is honestly not what I expected for myself at the beginning of this year. But like, I'm only human, and I've also gone through a lot of things recently where I feel like I understand why that has happened, and I'm going to be kind to myself throughout it because I know it won't be a thing forever. But this is also why I want to take intentional solitude. And the girl at the bookshop was saying, it sounds like, you know, you've been so used to taking care of yourself this whole time that naturally when you start to date people, you feel like you should be able to take care of them. And because I haven't had like people take care of me, I don't actually think I've ever really had people take care of me. Like, I've always been such a lone wolf in that. Like, I've always been very independent, and I've always very like taken care of myself or pulled myself out of very dark places. I've of course had my friends' support, which I'm very, very grateful for, but I do think at the end of the day it has solely been me. And that it's actually, she said it was actually okay, like, to have someone take care of you. Like, I don't want someone to take care of me all the time. I want to take care of myself, and I want them to take care of themselves. But I also do want like someone that I can lean on, like someone that I can lean to, vice versa, as they can lean on me. I don't want to be solely depending. My biggest fear is like someone depending on me for their happiness. Like, I can't cope with that. Like, it puts too much pressure on me, and I just think you should be happy with or without me. But like, it's nice that we would be happier together, but also I'm very set with like I would be fine on my own. I think that's what I quite like about, like, as I got older, I'm not dependent on someone. When I was younger, I was very dependent on how my relationships were with me. And it was just something I was so scared. Like, I literally wanted to die when my ex broke up with me. Like, genuinely, I was like, I can't be alive. Like, are you okay? And then I jumped off like a 20-foot thing, and like I then was trapped for like 8 hours, and then I went psychotic. So it was actually a really bad experience. And I was like, I said, that's so crazy, because I don't even remember this person's birthday. Like, I don't even remember anything about them. Like, it's so weird how you can like go from that. So I think because I've lived that version of myself before, and I know it doesn't align for me, and I get really scared of the places it can get into, this is why I'm so like consistent with intentional solitude, because I think it's really time that you get to nurture yourself and love yourself. But I do also think the next like person I am with, like, I want them to like overfill my cup as well. Like, I want to be able to lean on them for support. I want to be able to be confident in going to them for things. I think like that's the bare minimum with like partners. But hey, I don't know, like, I don't know, you know, I don't know, it's a crazy wild. But yeah, I think if you're like, how do I spend time like intentionally with myself? It really doesn't need to be big things. I think sometimes we're like, oh, well, then we have to like do this. Solo dating, I really do recommend. It doesn't have to be massive. Like, you can literally just take yourself for a walk, go around like a bookshop, pick yourself out a book that you really like, and like sit there and read it, have some coffee, like have some intentional time with yourself. I think when I went on one of my first solo dates, I went to the Tate Late, and when I was there, it was actually very busy, and it was a very overwhelming space because everyone was kind of together, and it was nice, but I don't think that was a good vibe to date myself, because I didn't really have much, like, I had a lot of like time to think by myself, but I was also then like, do I look weird like dancing, like the Tate Late, like they have like DJs and stuff like that. I was like, do I look a bit weird like standing there on my own, like, and I was a bit more like overthinking it in that aspect. I had a really great experience, don't get me wrong. It was really nice to go to the gift shop and then buy myself stuff, and I actually asked someone to take a picture of me in front of this like wall, because I was like scrapbooking at the time, and it was really nice. Like, I had a really nice time, but it wasn't until my walk home where the moon was out. Oh, I can like, if I could visualize it, it would be so clear right now. But yeah, so it was so nice. And it was on that walk home, it was like an hour walk home, and it was like dark, or I was like walking along all of the London lights, like past the London lights. So beautiful. And it was really then where I got to like really talk to myself. And I think people are like, oh, like, I like, you know, I've had in movies before, it's like, oh, she's talking to herself, she's crazy. Girl, if I could talk to myself every day for the rest of my life out loud, I fucking would. Because honestly, I think I love my, like, I love to hear myself. I actually think she's got so much wisdom. I'm like, oh, you, like, me and you, you and me, like, we're really good. Like, we're actually really good. Like, I genuinely feel like we need to talk to ourselves more. Like, ask questions. This can be in your mind. Like, I feel like I don't really talk to myself out loud unless it's in the morning. Like, I have like such a strict morning routine, and I will wake up and I will sit on my sofa, exhibit A, and I will have a tea, and I will have 15 minutes of silence, and I will just let my brain thoughts like think. And sometimes I will say that out loud and it feels really nice, but sometimes I get annoyed because I feel like it could have been a whole podcast episode and I didn't record it. And then I'm like, damn it. And then when I go to record, I don't have the same great thoughts. So like that kind of stresses me out. But also like getting to know yourself in your mind is like a very like great thing to do. I don't know whether it's like your higher self or like what it is talking to you. I personally like to think that it's like my higher self, but I know some people can like have that relationship with God or like whatever like works for you. And it's just a really nice experience. Like, I feel like I can ask questions, and I feel like past, present, and me versions are there now, and it's a really nice way to like help shift your mindset. I feel like I had a lot of patterns to break within my mindset, and I now hear like my voice, like my natural like thought process come, and it's so much kinder to myself than what it was before. And I think it's actually a testament to like talking to myself and checking in with myself and seeing if I'm okay and allowing myself to be there. I think we get so caught up. Like, I wear headphones everywhere. I'm always listening to music, or I'm listening to a podcast, or I'm like listening to stuff all the time. And it's like we never really have time for our brain to like actually like say what we're thinking, or like we don't give it space to listen to ourselves. And it's really important. And I think intentional solitude is a big part of that. And also like doing something, I would say do something with your inner child. I am actually not going to go that full into it in this episode. I feel like I already had episode. She thinks she's doing a podcast. This is from Channel Hun. Oh, like literally I have a photo of myself before I get ready. Like, literally I didn't grow hair, guys, until I was like 5, because my mum and dad split up, and it was very abusive, and it was very toxic, and it was very harmful. So this little cutie pie was really stressed and didn't grow any hair. I was actually in hospital like basically like so many times because I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me and it didn't grow properly. And that was really hard because I was 4 and I started school and I got bullied for basically having no hair, and it was like really horrible. So I've never really treated this version of myself with compassion and love because I've been like, well, everyone else hated her, and it's like so mean. Like I'm literally like, so I sat, she is so cute, do you know how much she went through and how much like how strong she is? Like it's actually crazy. Like I wouldn't be who I am without her. Like she is me and I am her, and she's in me. Like she's literally there. Like she's literally here first thing up. And when I'm mean to myself and when I'm horrible and I'm like, I don't deserve to exist, like, she's sat there thinking, what the fuck are you going on about? Can you swear on YouTube? I don't understand. It's fine. No one's watching. Apart from you. Thank you. But yeah, like, so I genuinely sit there now and I have this literally where I get ready in the mirror. So I see her every day and I just like, it's sad because I know that she's going through it and I know that she's like smiling and I still do this. Look, she's just like it's actually insane. But I think, yeah, like connecting with your inner child, can't put it back up. Connecting with your inner child, like she is within you. Like one of my things of this year was may my past, my present, and my current coexist together in peace. Like genuinely, I really hope that for me. And it will happen. Yeah, I feel like I'm rambling, but yeah. What I was going to say is I'm not going to continue this ramble. It may feel like I'm cutting it off. I'm not going to continue this ramble because I have decided that I'm going to try, guys. I'm going to try and basically do like a content in February, because February is like the love month and all of this. So I'm going to basically do a series on TikTok where I do like a TikTok every day on like a series on how to fall in love with yourself, because I think it's so vital. Like we put so much stress on like on romantic love. Platonic love and love for myself has got me to where I am. Like genuinely, platonic love is so fantastic and we do need to talk about that more, but I feel like we do talk about that more. Like I feel like that's something that's very known now. But I feel like I wish there was another word like romantic, platonic. I don't know what the one is for like yourself, but that love is the most important thing. It is the reason I'm here today, and to connect with it and to like solely focus on it is like not talked about enough. And I think that is actually what's really important. And I think we could all do with it a lot more because love is one of the highest vibrations of the universe. I also think authenticity is one of the highest vibrations of the universe. So when we are loving and radiating that love out of ourselves, we're literally allowing other people to do it as well. Like there was one time where I literally walked on the street. I really wanted to walk to the park with a mug of coffee. And I walked to the park with a mug of coffee, and genuinely I was so happy that I was doing this because I had the perfect mug. It was really cute and I was like, yay. And I was on my lunch break and it was so nice. And I was just happy. I was like smiling and skipping down the street like hee hee hee. And the women that walked past me like beamed. They fucking beamed because it's so nice to see another woman like living as authentically as they possibly can. And like we're taught not to. Like we're literally taught not to. We're actually taught by everything to compare ourselves, to like not like ourselves. There's always something you can improve. There's always something you can work on. There's always something you can do this. We're not taught how you can improve and work on your mindset within like the own forms of your brain so that you can wake up every morning and kind of be like, I'm so glad I exist. Like, I'm so grateful I'm here. Like, I'm so grateful to wake up in this body. And granted, every day I don't wake up feeling like that. But now, because of the love I have for myself, I do wake up. And even if I feel like, because I feel like it's granted, like as a woman, I feel like there's definitely like a week of the month where I'm like, this side of my face is discombobulated. I look fucking ugly. Like, I'm generally the worst creature to ever exist. But in them times, I have compassion for myself and recognize I'm a human being. I'm not going to feel 100% all of the time. And I will nurture myself a little bit more today. I will be more present with myself because I know you're going through it and I know you're feeling it. And like, that's where love comes in. Like, it's like, I will love you and be kind to you when you're 40%. Whereas before, when I was 40%, I was like, I'm literally just such a failure of a human being. Like, everyone can do life, but I can't. And like, that's not helping anyone. That's actually feeding into like capitalism, I swear. It's my TED Talk. Thank you for coming. Anyway, that was actually so fun. I feel like I'm struggling with the podcast at the moment, but like I feel like I should just do it on here because I actually love making videos. So yeah, intentionally date yourself for 2 months, or like if you want to, like I generally really recommend some intentional solitude for 2 months, because then it comes to March and you're like, and then I'm dating like such a good version of myself. I'm proud to put her out here. Like, you are, I definitely think it's anyway, like anyone I've ever dated or like anyone I'm dating, I'm like, you are so lucky to be in this room with me. Before, I used to be like, oh my God, like, do they like me? Do they like me? Do they like me? No, it is a blessing that you are sat in front of me. Like, I cannot tell you, and like, I'm not really feeling that at the moment. I'm a bit insecure. I'm a bit butthurt from like this fucking situation that like happened last year, and it kind of just like, I don't know, it just broke a lot of my trust. Like, and I feel like I really went in on myself with that a lot. Like, no fault to them, like they're a great person, but like we like it basically hurt me a lot more than what I need to, and it made me realize that like I wasn't being as confident in myself, because how could I let someone make me feel like that so easily? Like, to be feeling like you're too much, or you're like, I don't know, like, oh my God, you're too intense and all of these things. And they really got me down. Like, it really got me down as a person. Like, I was just like, I don't like this version of myself. And I do. I do. I like being intense. I like feeling things. I like being able to connect with literally every person that walks down the street. I like that, like, people can come to me and tell me like their deepest, darkest problems that they haven't spoke to anyone else before. I like being able to feel. I like being able to feel intensely. I like being able to be like, I put a safe space for people to be authentically themselves. Are you kidding? So yeah, so I need to get back to that point, and that's why I'm taking this time for myself, and that's why I will not be dating. But catch me in spring. She'll be there, because I actually think I do want to like be in my lover girl era this year. I can't believe I'm saying that, makes me feel sick, but I do think I want to be in my lover girl era. Like, I'm kind of like, I'm so used to being on my own that it would be nice to experience it. And like, even not like, I very much eliminated the fact of like the next person I date has to be the person I date forever. Like, I used to massively think that, but like now I'm so much more like, life is really short. You never know what you're going to get tomorrow. Like, I just want to live in the moment and be in the now. And like, as long as I'm like dating someone that makes me really happy and like I'm fulfilled and like we like grow off each other, then I'm just grateful for the experience, because everything is either a lesson or a blessing. And I love that. Like, stunning vibes, actually. Couldn't get more stunning. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful. If you've made it this far, please do actually follow me. Like, I don't know, it sounds really cringe to like ask for myself, but I'm going to do the cringe and embrace it this year, I think, because it's actually serving me. It's actually serving me quite well. And also, it's not embarrassing unless you're embarrassed. So I'm just not going to be embarrassed, you know. I can choose that. It's on me. So yeah, I hope you have the most beautiful day. Also, I would really like it if you could follow me on Instagram, just because I really want to work with Twinings. I want to get sent sleep tea. I'm putting out here now to the universe, or pucker. I'm obsessed. Like, I love it, and I'm manifesting it this year. So yeah, that's me done. But I love you so much. I hope you have the most beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here, and always remember your personal power. Oh, it's really like a podcast ending. Yeah, bye guys.